Yo, what's up? What's up? It's the Hungry Millennial back again with yet another proactive pragmatism. On today's proactive pragmatism, I'd like to talk to you about discipline. Discipline isn't a straitjacket. And in order to start being more disciplined in your life, and you have to embody it, you have to take ownership of it. Don't allow it to take ownership of you. And here are some simple steps on how you can maintain discipline. I want you to make it fun. I want you to make it a lifestyle. I want you to make it consistent. And I want you to KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. And so when it comes to making it fun, make it a competition between you and others. Myself, I currently like to work out alone. And, I like to do a lot of things in solitude. But sometimes I do find that it does help me to start competitions with other people mentally when I see them, getting their gains in at the gym or working on something new or starting a new project or a new venture or a new business. One of my very close friends, Michael Tyson, he started Take Action Today, so which is a recovery organization, nonprofit. And what he does, when I see him post a lot of something, I'm like, okay, well, I can improve this part of my life. And then it makes it a fun competition between me and him, even though we both know that we're in different lanes and we're not competing. But I'm like, well, he took it to another level, so I can take it to another level. And then, so secondly, it's something that you have to make a lifestyle. And when you make it a lifestyle, you avoid fads. And during the process, you treat yourself. So one mental game that I used to play with myself when I was deployed to Kuwait was they had a place on post that made pizzas, but the place was like 2-3 miles away. So I would tell myself, hey, you know what, you want that pizza? Go ahead and knock out 5 miles and go get that pizza. But that way I was also treating myself, and I was treating myself well, and I felt like I had earned something. And once you start making those, putting those little milestones in place, it's going to unravel a whole nother set of goals for you. You stop looking at the goal for the sake of the goal, and you look at the goal for the process that is going to bring along the way. It's like, it's like playing Sonic. When you get to the end, you get to the rings, and then you use it to fight the big boss and try not to lose all your rings, right? Inevitably, we will kind of fail. So avoiding fads will help us maintain what we have and keep what we have. Because here's the thing about fads, right? They're here today and gone tomorrow. But you don't want your results here today and gone tomorrow. So treat yourself along the way and try not to get sucked into that smartphone that's telling you need the waist trainer or any of those things. A lot of health tips that are out there have been recycled over and over. And so make sure that you're actually doing your research to make sure that you're creating the lifestyle that you want. So when you look at, diets and things like that, you want to make sure you're consistent. When you look at, anything that you want to accomplish in life, it's more about consistency than it ever has been about who's the talented and most talented or who's the smartest, because there's so much that you can learn about the subject by just being open and putting your ego to the side. So thirdly, we want to make it consistent, make our discipline consistent. And what this means is remember, it's easier to keep the weight off than it is to get rid of it over and over and over. Once you get to a place of equilibrium, now you can maintain. And while you're maintaining, you're going to want to look at all the steps in the process of your goal that you took to get there. We don't want to continue to reset. So a lot of times it's better to just get the thing or the task done. So for me, I'm like, okay, well, there are a lot of things I'm like, well, I can put that off to tomorrow. But I get to a space mentally where I'm like, what if, I played a what if game with myself. What if you did that right now? How smooth would it make your day tomorrow? And I processed the pain of the weeks past of where I didn't do that. And then something popped up because things in life will inevitably will happen. And so when those things do happen, you have one less thing on your task list that has to be accomplished the next day by getting multiple things done. And then you'll find that by being more disciplined, you actually gain more time because everything that you do have is scheduled out appropriately. And so it's also going to help you avoid, going for the instant results, because you know that since you started your process, instant. It's here today and it's gone tomorrow. The flame burns really bright and really fast, but it is gone. You want that consistent flame over a lifestyle, so you can look up and be like, look at all these years that I put in this work. And then you can, be proud that you've put in that work and that you followed your process and that you stuck to it and you didn't give up. And a lot of times I find with making something consistent, it becomes easier for me to process my goals. It becomes easier for me to take the next step. A lot of times you just take that energy and you apply it to something else and you're like, okay, I've been here before. And then, we'll have times where we do slip and where we do fall to the wayside with our goals. But you won't fall nearly as hard next time because you put in the reps to make something a habit. And once you make it a habit, it becomes a part of you. You embody that. Everything about you says that if it's there, I'm going to go get it. If, I'm slacking a little bit, I need to pick up the slack. I need to pick up the pace. And this is, a lot of it is a solo journey, because if you master it solo, when somebody else does come a part of your life and then they leave your life, but you've been consistent, you can fall back into that routine like nothing ever happened. Lastly, so KISS, keep it simple, stupid. So there's this saying that an average plan executed now is better than a perfect plan executed later. I need you guys to start. The greatest part of the process is when I start. I'm like, okay, we're here now. It's rarely ever perfect. It's rarely ever what I thought it was. But I'm like, now I've got the brain juices running, because everything that says that's doubting me around it, none of it matters, because I've already started. So I'm in it. You invested. So get started and then stay consistent. Use that pain that you felt during COVID when you gained all the weight. Use that same energy to do other things. So a lot of the exercise bands and exercise and stuff that I had during COVID, I still have them packed up just in case that happens again. The best thing that you can do is be prepared. In the military, we talk about 1/3, 2/3, right? So 1/3, you need to be, making sure that you've got your life planned out. Make sure you got your things together. So that other 2/3 you can dedicate to family, friends, and stuff like that. And you can, in the future, you can chase your kids around because you've been working on your health. And then that spirals into your kids, eating healthier foods, because typically they watch what you eat. So they'll start consuming those things, right? We have to get to a point where we're not being hypocritical about what we do. Every now and then, if you need calories based off of your day, then be realistic. But when you keep it simple, you also look at the variables that apply to your life, not somebody else's life. Make sure that you're looking at you and not their results, because their results may be from substances. It may be from, you don't know what's going on in somebody's life. They may be an alcoholic, and in the long run, it might catch up to them, right? So we have to be realistic enough with ourselves and be nice to ourselves to where we're like, you know what, this is my goal. I'm not looking at anything anybody else is doing. I take tips and stuff right here, like different exercises and different workflow techniques. And, I watch and listen to different podcasts about the human brain and how it works. And I implement, small, minute parts of those routines. And I implement a small amount at a time. That also ties to KISS, is implement a small, like just little incremental changes will take you so far. And you don't even know that you're even moving in a direction, but you just tweak the knob a little bit, right? You start off with, hey, I'm gonna drink a bottle of water today. I normally drink, Dr. Pepper all day or whatever it is. And then eventually you escalate to a gallon. And then, one day maybe you decide that you're going to look at the healthier sandwiches on the McDonald's menu. It does start. I mean, it's crazy. It sounds crazy, but maybe you just get the chicken, boy. Like this past weekend, me and my daughter, we normally go to McDonald's. So, normally I'm like, okay, well, I'm probably going to get this side or whatever. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to get the apples, with the sandwich that I got, and she was like, you getting apples? And then she was like, I want apples. And that was like one of the most beautiful things, but we kept it really, really simple. So I want you guys to be very, very successful, but I also want you to embrace discipline like you would embrace anything else. It doesn't have to be hardcore. This is not the military. This is not basic training. You just have to start. It's your life though, because once you start making these changes in your life, you're going to start seeing openings and opportunities that you never thought would be in play. It takes a lot of intestinal fortitude to say, hey, I need to do better. And every day, I'm not a perfect person, but every year I try to become better than I was last year. Every day I'm trying to reflect on days past, like, hey, yesterday you didn't get this done, so today, son, you need to get this done. So a lot of those self-talks really will help you get through, because you know what you need to get done. Take that anxiety, take that depression, take that sadness that you feel, and turn it into fuel for all your goals. Like, you know what, I don't like feeling like this, so there is something out there. There are plenty of YouTube videos that I can look up to make a change in my life. Start making that difference and start realizing that discipline isn't a straitjacket. You know, make it fun, make it a lifestyle, make it consistent, and keep it simple, stupid. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening to Proactive Pragmatism. We're continuing on with our series Millennials Are. I've got a bunch of podcasts that'll be releasing periodically throughout the next few weeks. But I do appreciate you guys contributing and helping out and helping us get better viewership, because all I want you guys to do is be proactively pragmatic about the things in your life that you need to get done. Doesn't matter if it's a health goal, if it's a wealth goal, if it's a family goal. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. And so if you have any questions for the podcast, you can reach us at PROPRAG20@gmail.com. It's proprag20@gmail.com. Thank you. I appreciate you guys.